Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now in this video, we are going to be going through email subject lines and why they are important and how we can improve them, and exactly the same blueprint that we use for all of our largest clients, which are doing 7 and 8 figures every single month. Now, the reason I made this video is because a lot of brands completely neglect the actual importance of the subject line. Now, they spend so many hours crafting the perfect offer, the visuals, the graphics, exactly how they want to make that email look. But what they don't realize is without actually having a good subject line, all of that effort is going to pretty much go completely to waste. Now, your subject line is the ultimate gatekeeper to an email. It could pretty much be the make or break between an email that gets opened and an email that doesn't, which can obviously have an impact worth thousands or tens of thousands of dollars if done correctly or incorrectly. So it is super crucial to get your subject line right, and in this video we're going to be going through exactly how we do it for our clients and how we've been able to do it in a way that we've generated over $20 million for our e-commerce clients over the last few years. So let's get stuck right into it. Now, when we're writing a subject line, there are two main things to keep in mind. Number one is you want to be concise and informative. Now, you really don't want to create a subject line that's longer than 41 characters. And the reason for that is that most people view their email on their phone. And the number one email client that there is across the entire internet, and that is desktop and phone, is Apple iPhone. And the preview within the subject line for your Apple iPhone gets cut off after 41 characters. So if you have a subject line that's say 50 or 60 or 70 characters, then it's gonna get cut off and majority of your customers aren't even gonna be able to read it. Now, Gmail has a pretty similar cutoff on mobile devices as well, and that is actually the number 2 most popular mail client. So that's gonna account for up to 70% of your total email users. So I really think those are the two portions that we pay the closest attention to. And then obviously the other ones are gonna be within that range as well. So 41 characters is really our sweet spot. Now, the second point that we want to keep in mind is that we want to create a sense of urgency, or at least invoke some level of curiosity. Now, I always say this, curiosity is your friend in email marketing. So if we can figure out a way to invoke curiosity and spark a genuine interest in the customer's mind, then that is going to always pay dividends to us in the long run and is going to get our emails open every single time. Now, with that out of the way, let's go through the ways that we can actually create really successful subject lines. Now, you can use a mixture of some of these next points that I'm about to list, but you should at least have one of these points in your subject lines to guarantee that you have a good open rate. Now, number one is having a subject line that is action oriented. You want to encourage your readers to take some sort of action. So number 2 is you can use numbers. Now, numbers stand out in a really good way to readers. So you could do something like our top 5 picks for you, or 3 popular trends in fashion. So something along the lines of numbers and lists customers really gravitate towards. Number 3 is you could ask questions. So you can engage your reader's mind by asking questions and again, invoking curiosity. Number 4 is use FOMO. Leveraging fear of missing out is a really good way of driving action, and it really drives action fast. And lastly, it's relevance and timeliness. Now, you want to craft subject lines that are relevant to the customer at that exact time. So these could be things like trends, or it could even be seasons, or it could be anything that's happening in the business right now that could be relevant to the customer right now as well. So here are some good examples of subject lines that you can use for each of these next categories of emails. So for newsletters, you can say something like Milkshake Media News, don't miss out. So that's just a quick subject line for a regular newsletter that's going out. And again, it sparks curiosity and fear of missing out. Number 2 is for sales promotions. So you could say something like sale ends in 3 hours, get 50% off. So that again uses numbers and it uses urgency. For new product launches, you could say hello to, and then insert product. So that really sparks curiosity because customers are going to want to know what that product is, and they're going to want to know exactly what that product can do for them. For abandoned cart, you could say, Tarun left something behind with a question mark at the end. And in that one, you've used personalization, you've asked a question, and you've sparked curiosity. And for the last one, for re-engagement campaigns, you could say, Tarun, we missed you. And again, you've used personalization to encourage action. Now, something that I talk about quite often is personalization. Personalization is always super effective for emails, and it generally has much higher action and much higher engagement than emails without personalization. So whenever you're crafting a subject line, try to see how you can personalize it for the customer. The easiest and most obvious one is just adding the customer's first name within that subject line. And other ways that you can do it is based on the product categories that they're interested in. You can do it based on their purchase history, or even based on the cities or countries that they're living in. So you're not really going to be able to personalize unless your data is clean and it's actually organized correctly. So make sure you know what data that you have. So if you don't currently have that data, you need to build a plan out to how you can start gathering this information, because it is super important for engagement and the long-term success of your email marketing channel. So now we've gone through pretty much everything you need to know to how to build a subject line. Now when it comes to the actual implementation side of things, we want to make sure we always A/B test. So every list is going to react differently to different things that you send to them. So you can't really just have a one size fits all. You can't just Google best subject line of 2023 and hope for the best. The best way to actually figure out what is going to work best for your audience is going to be through A/B testing. So do tests like personalization versus non-personalization. Do tests that use numbers versus not using numbers. Do questions versus statements, and you can even test the length of subject lines. So you can do a long one versus a short one. So the more you send emails out, the more information that you have. So you should really use every single campaign as an opportunity to learn from your audience. That is the best way you're going to grow, and that is the best way you can start making educated decisions that result in an instant ROI. Now, the last thing you want to do is you want to make sure you avoid spam triggers. So you want to avoid spam triggers, and they usually get set off by spammy content like saying, buy now, or using excessive punctuation, or using crazy all caps all the time. So you want to really make sure you don't hit those spam triggers, because then you are guaranteeing that your email is just not even going to get into the inbox, let alone not get open. So really important to keep in mind your spam triggers, and just make sure you're always looking at your bounce rates and your spam rates every campaign that you send to make sure you're not setting anything off unknowingly. So that pretty much covers every single thing that you need to know about email subject lines. Now go ahead and start testing, start seeing what works for your audience. Now you might see that your list reacts exactly to the way that you would expect it to online, but chances are you might also find something new about your audience that you would have never guessed without A/B testing. So thank you for making it this far. I hope this video has been valuable to you. If it has, please drop a like and subscribe to our channel. I'm dropping content regularly about email marketing and what's been working for our clients. I'm deep in the trenches every single day with our 7 and 8 figure e-commerce clients, and I love to share as much value as I can on this channel. So thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later.